在中国，先生二字是一种尊称，是对于父兄长者和教师的称呼，寓意尊敬与爱戴。大先生更是对有德业者的尊称。而今天的采访主要对象是暨南大学的外籍教师 Paul Kors 老师，他对于中西方文化交流的造诣以及中国翻译人才培养与教育所做出的贡献深厚。
Kors 老师是暨南大学翻译学院的外籍教师，他主讲英语听辨与表述、大学英语等课程。暨南大学作为侨校，依托包括 Kors 老师在内的外籍教师团队，打造多元文化共存的校园环境，吸引更多国际学生和访问学者，强化侨校加名校的国际地位。他与吴静共同编著了《中西文化交流口语》，该书于2017年由暨南大学出版社出版，是暨南大学翻译学院中西文化交流口语的课程教材。Kors 老师主讲大学英语、英语听说等课程，通过日常对话、情景模拟、小组讨论等互动形式，帮助学生摆脱了哑巴英语，并且提升了听力反应速度和口语流利度。It is a great pleasure to make an interview on you, Mr.
Kors.
And it is a fact that you are an outstanding teacher in School of Translation Study of Jinan University. Today we have several questions about you and your contribution to education. Okay, firstly, we all know that language remains the paramount factor in Sino-Western cultural communication. And what do we identify as the primary challenges to Chinese students to face in using English linguistically?
Well, there are several challenges, of course. One of the main challenges is the fact that we have this inability to speak within the classroom. This may come back from the fact of the exam system. We're searching for perfection. We're searching for everything to be 100%. That's what we're driven by. Now, the ability to learn is perfect, but when it comes to real-world scenarios of asking in free talk or asking in classroom, this is inhibited because students are too scared to make mistakes. So this is one of the drawbacks, or one of the major drawbacks within this thing is the system itself sometimes.
So to solve the problems you just mentioned, we noticed that you have frequently employed interactive formats such as daily dialogue and situational simulation. Can you share a memorable classroom simulation example that effectively employ this approach?
Yeah, what we normally do is sometimes we have a game, or some classes that we say Lost in the City. So Lost in the City is where you are asked three things. You have to ask a policeman, a local person, and a non-native person for directions. The reason why we use this scenario is because it's the nearest thing to spontaneous conversation. It's not scripted, you don't memorize anything, you just ask people random questions. This is quite difficult because that goes back to my first point of we memorize things, we script everything. In this scenario, you're asked a question, you have to think. Also, it shows your emotions. The frustrations of not being able to communicate with people, that's one of the problems. You have to find the language on the spot, not asking somebody questions. So that's the reason why we use this scenarios, because it's get you to talk about your emotions, how you feel, your frustrations, and of course you have to use the English in an unscripted way.
So we also find that you collaborated an oral approach to Chinese with Wu Jing, and it is used as a textbook. During your collaboration of an oral approach to Chinese, do you encounter any particularly interesting cases of cultural differences, and how are these incorporated into the textbook?
Yeah, the textbook we incorporated, as we said, about the difference in understanding politeness. This is not covered in text. So we learn, we then talk about saying please and thank you and being polite, but the difficult thing for most students is when you're in a situation, how do you behave? How do you get out of things by saying, you know, I'll give this one a miss, I'll pass this time. So in Chinese we say, well, we'll pass this time. In the West, of course, we directly say politely no. What we used in the book is using like idioms. So we used to talk about dogs. So dogs are respected in the West, but not respected here. Okay, so we say it's raining cats and dogs. It's a dog's life. Every dog gets its day. So that's a way of bringing you to understand how idioms work, how to really understand the language by using idioms, not set sentences and memorize things. So that is why we use that in the particular thing, talking about animals in Unit 7. We talk about all different animals and the relationship within the language.
Okay, so for students seeking to deepen the understanding of Western culture beyond language acquisition, what additional avenues do you consider particularly valuable for their cultural exploration?
Well, that's you have to go beyond the classroom. So most people watch Friends, soap operas, those types of things. If you really want to get into understanding immersion within that country, that means sociology. If you study sociology, you study history, anything. If I come to China, I understand all about Chinese history because I'm immersed in the place, more so than what most people do. And that's how you learn. You immerse yourself in films, social media, chat, if you can do correspondence with somebody else online who speaks the native language. That's all the ways you immerse yourself in, which is not taught in a classroom.
Okay. Thank you for answering my questions and thank you for your contribution to our study. It is a great pleasure for me to have an interview on you again.
一带一路倡议中蕴含的加强文明对话理念，与丝路精神中和平合作、开放包容、互学互鉴、互利共赢的理念，是 Prof 老师在教育事业上努力的方向。他在教学的过程中注重将中国的文化与西方的文化进行对比说明，让学生们理解在不同语境与不同环境下中西方交流内容的差异，提高学生的学习兴趣以及探究欲望，做到真正的寓教于乐。Prof 老师作为一名暨南大先生，不仅在教学中展现了深厚的专业素养，更在中西方文化交流中践行了大先生的精神内涵。他用实际行动诠释了翻译教育的真谛，既培养学生的跨文化理解能力与全球视野，助力构建人类命运共同体。这种精神正是教育工作者最应当传承与发扬的宝贵财富。